Welcome to another edition of Wings Weekly, the holiday version. Kind of quiet around here in the locker room and at the ODI Center after a big weekend as the guys are off on break, but Coach generous enough with his time to join us here. Coach, stringing some wins together, we talked about it. You've got 5 in a row, 2 sweeps back to back, and some pretty good hockey played overall here on the ODI Center. Was it perfect? No, but is it ever? And the reality is like I've talked to some people that have asked questions and whatnot, and I've told I actually felt like it combined the 2 nights. Granted, like I said, was it perfect? No, but it was pretty consistent, pretty solid play overall, and of course a real strong second period on Friday night. And you guys end up with a 5-2 win there. We talked prior to the game on Saturday night, and you felt like maybe the start wasn't quite like you'd like, but overall a pretty solid win there on Friday, huh?
Yeah, a slow start for sure. But we got a timely goal by Holmstrom, which got our bench going at the right time, and then coming out in the second period, scoring 4 in a row. It was quite a turnaround from our energy level in the first period to what we did in the second period, and obviously that put the game away pretty much. That quick outburst of offense.
Yeah.
But our D getting really involved too, and you're noticing there's more plays being made, and we're scoring more goals because of it.
Well, and that's actually something you and I talked about a few weeks back. But now you're seeing Turner and Anderson and Rhyme and so on that are going down the wall, that are getting involved in the play, and they're creating some opportunities there. Anderson, we've seen him a couple weeks now where there's been a redirect or a deflection or something off of one of his shots that end up in the back of the net. So certainly, a key. We've also talked about the face-off wins and board battle wins and all those things. And over the last few weeks, you're starting to see that come together. I'm going to get more into that in just a moment, but let's go on to Saturday night. You come off a big win, and you end up winning again on Saturday night. Now that one was a 4-2 win, but again, it felt like a pretty solid, well pieced together game. There weren't any real ups and downs. There weren't a lot of ebb and flow or the roller coasters that we've seen earlier on in the year. And maybe again, that's just from my perspective. Maybe that's not how you guys saw it as a coaching staff, but your takeaways from Saturday.
Yeah, we came out ready to go. I thought our start was good. I thought we played a complete hockey game. We got timely score. We got one there on the power play, which was big by Logan, and defensively we were good. And both nights our goaltending was excellent. Yep. And there was times where, Austin pushed, but Dybel gave us that chance to settle in and to go do what we needed to do. But it's the last 6 out of 7. We found a way to win hockey games, and we're doing things the right way.
Yep.
That are, whereas opposed to earlier, we were finding a lot of ways to lose hockey games because we were cheating it all over the ice, and now our guys aren't cheating so much, and they're getting rewarded for it.
Well, and like I said, we're going to get into some of that a little bit more here after we kind of wrapped up the Friday-Saturday stance of it. But do you feel like, and you and I over the years, you've talked about the fact that at the break is where you want to see the team peaking. I shouldn't say peaking, but you want to see a level of improvement there for sure. And there's certainly some teams around the league, when you look at what they've done over the last few weeks, not just in the Central Division, across the league, they're starting to plateau or maybe having some trouble. Of course, there's injuries, there's all kinds of things to consider, but again, stringing some wins together as you go into the break, do you feel like you're headed in the right direction? I would think that you'd like the way you're going here, huh?
Yeah, no, I like where we're going. I like our chemistry right now. I like our team attitude. They're enjoying the winning, where we went through a lot of, some real hard times there early in the year, and now our guys are getting rewarded, and they're feeling really good. And, everybody enjoys being around the rink.
Yeah.
When you're winning hockey games, and enjoy being around each other when you're winning hockey games, and winning creates winning. And I think we've done a good job getting to this point and being one of the most improved teams, and now we just have to continue to get better and climb the board.
Well, and what was it, a month ago, you talked about that you're digging yourself a bit of a hole, and you got to feel again like you're starting to fill that hole in and starting to work your way up. Obviously, there are other teams across the division and across the league that are getting better as well, so the work certainly isn't done. But again, a lot of positives to take away from a weekend like that. A lot of fun stuff going on. We had Teacher Appreciation Night on Saturday night. We had a hat and mitten drive for the kids in the area. A lot of fun stuff going on as we get ready to go into the holiday break. What I know, I've talked about this with you before, usually at the start of the season, because your off season is so busy. And maybe more so than people even realize. But what does a break like this look for you as a coach? Do you get a chance, obviously, hopefully anyway, to spend some time with family and so on, but you're still going to be working too.
Yeah, no, I'll still be in the office. We have a lot to plan for the next part of the season, and I want to stay ahead of it. Obviously, there's a lot of recruiting going on for next year as well with all of our scouts. So this is a time I can kind of get involved with that and see what we have going there. So and just take a couple days to get better and to learn and find some things that I'm interested in and I want to get better at and spend some time on that as well.
Okay. Well, folks, normally we would have a player joining us for the second portion of Wings Weekly. Again, a little bit of an abbreviated version here because we don't have that player because they are off spending time with their family during the break here. So I'm going to keep Coach here if he's so kind to join us here for the second portion. We're going to talk a little bit about St. Cloud coming up, about some of the tenders that they've been working on as well. That's coming up after this message, and the second portion of Wings Weekly continues.
City Lights Bar and Event Center is your official home for the Aberdeen Wings. Stop down for an ice-cold beer or drink and choose from one of the many excellent food options on their menu, available for both lunch and dinner. And when your Aberdeen Wings are on the road trying to earn their way back to the Robertson Cup Championship, come on down to City Lights and watch the away games as the audio and video are streamed live. City Lights Bar and Event Center, the official home for the Aberdeen Wings on South 2nd Street, just south of the overpass in Aberdeen.
Second portion of Wings Weekly continues. As I mentioned before the break there, we thank City Lights Bar and Event Center for sponsoring this program. But again, keeping Coach Langer here to pick his brain a little bit more. But Coach, you talked about it as far as recruiting and so on. We're seeing these announcements of tenders and all the work never ends. But you get an opportunity, as you said, over some time like this where you have a little bit, I don't want to call it downtime because I know it's not that, but you get an opportunity to kind of shift gears a little bit and start to look at and recruit and start to sign some of these players coming in. And I don't want to go through all of them. We will, but not necessarily today. How are you feeling about the future?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, our guys are doing a good job signing good players. Obviously, for the players, they always have to develop throughout this season. But they're players that have a lot of upside, and we think they can be good Aberdeen Wings in the future. So I think we're doing a good job. We've put a few guys in, on paper that we thought were precedent guys, and Eric's done a lot of work in that area too, with Craig. So, yeah, I mean, we feel good. I mean, it's it's always time will tell type thing,
Sure.
But we have players that are good hockey players that are working hard to develop into junior players.
Great to hear that, of course. And I mention this because I really think that I don't realize, or I don't think people realize, I should say, how much work goes into it. I know it's sort of like, I was driving out here and I'm thinking to myself, it's sort of like how people think, oh, teachers have the summer off. Usually they're out there, taking classes and doing seminars and maybe working more to advance their degree and to learn. They're always refining their craft, much like the coaching staff of the Aberdeen Wings, and working towards the future. And the future is the St. Cloud Norsemen. Of course, we have the holidays coming up, but back on the 29th of December, the Norsemen come to town here at the ODI Center. We have Free Kids Friday. Kids 12 and under receive free admission with the purchase of any adult ticket, and Ram Housing is the corporate sponsor. Saturday, December 30th, pre-New Year's Eve party. Schwann Financial is the corporate game sponsor, and a kids candy toss after the game. That's always a lot of fun, and we look forward to that. Coach, this Norseman squad, again, a team that you've seen. We saw them at the MAC here a couple of weeks ago. What do you feel like are going to be some keys? What do you need to do to continue this streak and to continue to work your way up the ladder, as you mentioned a bit ago.
Yeah, well, we have to continue to grow defensively. We've done a really good job taking steps in that area, but you play a team like St. Cloud that's got a lot of team speed, and they're really creative offensively, and obviously their goaltending is some of the best in the entire division. So, but we have to be strong defensively to give ourselves a chance to win. I think we can score with every team in the league or in the division right now, but you got to keep pucks out of the net. So hopefully our goaltending remains to be solid, and they're obviously going to come in here with a chip on their shoulder. We beat them twice in their building, and nobody takes a liking to that. So I'm sure they'll come in fired up right after break, and it'll be a good series.
Well, and I got to thinking about this kind of as you were talking, actually, a little bit about, some of the keys when I mentioned it earlier, the face-offs and the board battles and so on. One of them has been to stay out of the penalty box. Your guys did a pretty darn good job of that here against Austin. What do you attribute that to? Is that, is it a discipline thing? Is it a maturity thing as they continue to move along? Or, when you watch it on film or whatever, can you kind of go, okay, I see what he was thinking or what he was doing there. Is there some rationale behind it? Or is it just kind of like following the instructions, or just telling guys you got to stay out of the box? But yeah, like I said, it does seem like there's a level of maturity that's changing a little bit.
Yeah, and it is maturity. Sooner or later you're going to smarten up. Yeah. And we were taking some really bad penalties there, putting us in a bad situation. Even if we weren't getting scored on, we were just getting our lineup tired out really quick. Yeah. Your top players play power play, penalty kill, and regular shifts, so it's a lot of ice time. But yeah, sooner or later you're either gonna figure it out, or we'll have to figure it out. Our guys have done a good job of eliminating some of those bad penalties that we were taking in bad parts of the game. That was even the bigger problem, is
momentum killers.
We would have momentum, or we would be up, and then we would take a bunch of penalties that weren't. To me, you need to take someone with you, or stop a goal from happening in order to take a penalty. And we were taking penalties in the offensive zone, a lot of lazy stick penalties and stuff like that, and it was costing us games. Yeah. And sooner or later, guys are just going to get tired of losing and figure it out that that's a big part of the game. You have to be disciplined, and you have to be mature about when you're taking penalties.
No doubt. Just another one of the areas where I personally have seen some improvement and seen guys just playing smarter, playing better in a lot of ways. And I know it's because of your coaching and your direction, because I see it and I hear it, and I know that they're taking it to heart. Well, again, folks, Friday the 29th, the St. Cloud Norsemen come to the ODI Center Saturday, December 30th. Corporate night sponsorships and reserve season tickets for Wings home games are available for the remainder of the 2023-2024 season. Call Aaron at 605-380-5852 for more information. And for all the latest news and information on the Wings, visit AberdeenWings.com or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, or X, and on Instagram as well. Again, a shorter version of Wings Weekly, but a holiday version, and clearly we all at the Aberdeen Wings, and anybody that's involved with the Aberdeen Wings, wish you and yours the very best holiday season, and Coach, certainly to you and your family as well. Happy holidays, and enjoy some of the time that you can. I know you're such a hardworking guy, but try to have some great food and enjoy some of the holiday spirit.
Well, happy holidays.
All right, folks, Merry Christmas, and we'll be back coming up on the 29th and 30th.